episode of the Talk Podcast. Rather, we rebranded to the Talk Podcast. So, as always, you're always with me, Michael FMC Chinere. Now, in this episode, remember last time we talked about the young and the talented. So, we really want to be talking to people who are doing something very good, something commendable in our communities and whatnot. So, today I'm not alone. I'm with my friend, a very good brother of mine. So he's gonna do an introduction of himself. Yes, bro, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, man. I
Great, it's nice
appreciate it.
having you here on this
Thank you
platform.
very much.
I
I
know it's
appreciate it as
been
well.
it's been a very just to
Exactly,
get hold of you. Yeah, it hasn't been easy, but
exactly, man. Thank you.
sometimes you're busy with work and whatnot, so
Yeah,
it's a bit of a challenge.
yeah, it was
So yeah, this is Barney Michael Seller. I don't know, but sometimes he calls himself as a music band. I don't know. Are you a band?
No, 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 no. I'm
Because now
actually
your
not.
Instagram shows like it's
Oh,
a
a
band.
music band,
It's a
exactly,
music band.
exactly. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that was a mistake that I did when I was like
All
very
right,
young.
I remember now. So, what kind of a band only has one person?
Yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah,
anyway, so guy does a lot of things in town. So I'd really want to learn some few things from him and then get some clarity on some few things as well. So would you tell us like a brief introduction about yourself? Like who are you? What is
yeah,
it that you do? And
yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate for the chance and the time.
yeah,
I don't take it for granted. Yeah. So my name is Barney Michael, like you said it.
yeah.
I think the Seraphim thing you can rule it out
Yeah,
because
okay, right. We're
that
taking
was
out the Sarah
exactly
thing. Yeah.
that was Gali Gali when I was
Yeah,
like registering that account on
yeah,
IG on Facebook, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, but otherwise I'm an artist,
yeah.
songwriter and producer.
Oh,
That's what I am. That's
oh,
what I believe that I am. And apart from that, I am a minister of
yeah,
the gospel as
yeah.
well.
Oh,
Not
wow.
only music centric
Yeah,
like
yeah,
centered, but then
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
All right. So you're not
Mm.
only limited to production as well as doing music, but you're also a minister of the gospel.
Yeah,
Yeah, because lately I've seen you being featured in the Tairo album by Suffix.
oh
There
yeah.
is one song called is it Little Lighter? Or is it
Lighter, yeah,
Lighter?
lighter.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I've noted that. Like I'm like, oh, this is now Barney Michael in the song. How does it feel like, like to be featured with such a big artist in town? Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was really exciting, honestly.
yeah,
It was quite an experience. Yeah, it was really an experience because
because
I remember very well like the way how it happened.
yeah, yeah,
I'm not gonna say much about it, but just like we talked with him and then he was like, okay, this is the concept and then let's work on it. I was like, oh,
mm.
this is pretty dope.
Yeah, because yeah, it takes a lot of effort to get recognized as a label and then say, okay, guy, can we do this song?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
honored, man.
because I understand, I mean, I'm looking at the type of music that you're doing.
Yeah,
Of course, I've known you from way back. You used
mm,
to do hip hop, and
yeah,
then there's been a switch in music. I don't know what's happening nowadays because we've seen the same thing with Praise Umari. Yeah, so
exactly. Yeah,
what's happening? Like to say, you guys, you started with hip
yeah,
hop, and then now you're going towards a particular genre, which
yeah.
is it Afro or what? I don't know. I don't know. How
Yeah,
do you classify
I think it's indie music. That's how I
indie
classify it.
music?
Yeah,
Uh, uh, uh,
yeah. I used to love rap a lot.
yeah,
I used to love rap a lot, and
yeah,
I used to rap back in those days, 2015, 2016.
yeah,
But then I think what happened was that rap music wasn't satisfying to me.
yeah, yeah,
It's basically music you do when I do it, it doesn't sound the way how I want it
yeah,
to
yeah. So,
sound.
so just pause it there.
Yeah.
Do you make music for the people or for you? Yeah,
Ah man, I make music. I think right now I'm at a place where honestly I do music for myself
yeah,
because it came as an obsessive hobby. I was basically just in love with making music
yeah,
like since way back then. But I think now it's when you sort of like have just like a tiny little space where you like you consider
yeah,
okay let me
yeah,
make this
yeah,
anyway, but
yeah.
then it's not something that really drives me to be like
Yeah, yeah, because this is
yeah,
a bit of a challenge nowadays where you
it
need to
really
be
is.
debating should I do music for the people or music for myself? Because at the end of it all, the audience has a type of music or has the type of the vibe that they would like to vibe with.
Yeah,
But then you as an artist, you also have your own
kind of.
well, you want to do your thing.
Yeah,
So how do you balance these two things? Because I understand, modern days where the piano thing is just
yeah, the
everywhere.
trend. Mhm.
So this is what people are looking for,
Yeah.
and then you choose to go in your own direction. How do you blend this thing?
I mean, I think it's wild and it's
Mm,
crazy,
mm,
and it's I'll be honest, it's quite challenging, eh?
mm,
Because we at the end of the day, I think we are human beings. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
And it feels good to have people, you know, like say, oh, this is good stuff and whatnot, all that kind of thing. Just basic to be appreciated. Not that I lose sleep about it, but it's something that we can run away from it because we're humans. But then, it's never satisfying to me to do something that is appealing to people, but then doesn't really sit well with the way how I feel about it. So I think it's basically about sticking to what I love. I think that's the main thing, sticking to what I love. And I mean, I always say this thing, Woody, there are a lot of Afro artists, there are a lot of piano artists, there are a lot of them, and I'm not one of them. And that's how I say myself. I'm not one of them. Those are those people, and I can't. They are in their lane. I should remain in my lane, be happy about it, and be excited about what I'm doing. But I shouldn't come to the place of trading what I love for what people would
want.
expect. Exactly.
Because it's quite of a challenge. I understand.
Really?
It seems easy, but then sometimes you release a song, and then people are not maybe paying attention to it because now they have a particular genre that they would like to vibe with. So sometimes it gets you down and you'll be thinking like, okay, what should I do? Should I give them what they want? Or should I do what I want? That's why I've seen a lot of artists now. You see somebody maybe started as a hip hop artist and now he's into a piano. And then somebody, now we have this type of caliber now that was doing hip hop, but then they have transitioned to something which is not even something that is being celebrated at the moment, but it's a unique style. I'm always giving this example like Praise Omar, when you used to be Android,
Exactly.
you used to do rap, and then now you, Barney, you have your own unique. You talk of people like who is this? You did the song with the Tumbo guy.
Oh, Mtondo.
Mtondo, So you look at this. He has also his particular vibe. Like he has his own way of doing music. So what's so special about this music? What is it that is so special?
Special about the music that I'm making?
Oh,
I think, to me, I think we cannot run away from the influences and the kind of music that we were exposed to when we were young. You know, so I grew up in a family where my dad loves music very much, and I think it's basically me just carrying on what So he used to listen to Motown music, but gospel mostly, Jim Reeves and all that. So I think that kind of music is the music which I started appreciating and loving also.
Oh, nice.
So it's a kind of music that I appreciate so much, and it's something that I dream to accomplish as well. You get it? Because it's something. It's a sound that I listen to, and I'm like, oh, people make this kind of sound. People make this kind of music, and then I'm like, oh, I think if I would make something similar to this, or not exactly that I'm mimicking, but then like the quality of the music and everything, and also I think to me that's the whole thing, appreciating music for music itself, the way how if it's sounding good, it's sounding good. You know
it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Let's go. Siku antunde kukula. It gets so crazy when we bout to make choices. Kuzungulila pali ponse mumoyo. I wish that would never grow. Go my busy calabo.
So looking at the type of music that you do with, you have at least maybe 1,500 listeners monthly basis. I've been checking on some of your songs. So you'd see that in as much as these songs are not, sometimes they are radio praise, and then there's these other plays from the different platforms. You see that you're enjoying much of the plays from the digital platforms more than the radio platforms. So it's as if maybe the radio has a particular genre that they would rather play, but then the people have their own choices on these digital platforms. Because honestly, I'll tell you that most of the people that I've seen, that you may not have their music being played on their radios, but then they have a great like listenership on these digital platforms.
Very much, man.
So it seems like there's something about these unique styles that you guys are coming up with. Because do you know a guy called Steen?
Still, yes, he's a
Yeah,
friend.
yeah. You even if you check his Spotify, you see that he has some loyal listeners every month on monthly basis.
Exactly.
So I think there is something about being unique.
Yeah,
Because you can compare it. Lately, we've been having this debate. It was about Teresa Porto being one of the most listened artists
in Malawi.
in Malawi.
Yeah.
But then you look at the radio plays;
Yeah.
they have quite few.
Yeah, true.
But then you look at the listenership on Spotify and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's something good about music when you make it so unique.
Yeah,
because a lot of people, Praise Umari, they've just gotten to know Praise Umari when he featured Gwamba. But then he has been there.
He's been there
from way back. But then this type of music that he's making is quite making a lot of sense.
Yeah, very much.
It's a type of music that guys like Steen are doing. The type of music that you guys are doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyways, I just wanted to point out that because now seems like these digital platforms, they're giving a true picture of what music is all about.
Yeah, I think it's giving us liberty as well. I really appreciate, though. I do appreciate though. That's all I can say, because I think we are living in times where the world is becoming one. Through the internet and
global community.
Exactly, global community. So it has given us like some tiny little bit of like freedom. You get what I'm saying? Because if you think of like you're in the 2004 7s and then you're making this kind of music, I think people will be like,
what are you doing? Exactly. What's this?
But then I think now there's a chance, Kuti, you can create that kind of music and you put it on those kind of platforms or market yourself, and then there would be people who would come and show love. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think it's really amazing and all. It's nice, and I think what I always say is that people who I create music, right? And the thing is, I'm a human as well. Before I create music, I resonate, I think, and all that. And I think you're my witness as well. There are people whom you've met, you didn't have to over explain stuff. They just understand you on the first sitting.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's basically how I see music. That if there are people who think like me, people who appreciate the things that I appreciate,
people have a taste, like
exactly.
This is what I go for.
So if those people get to sniff some of the things that we do, I do believe they will come along. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, I think it's a very good advantage that we have with these digital platforms and all.
Nice. Now let's talk about you as a music producer now. We've talked to you as an artist. Now let's talk to you as a music producer, because now music production now. I think there are a lot of studios, there are a lot of producers, people doing all sorts of things with music. Now, say I've had a chance just to peep into your studios and then look at whatever you're doing and whatnot. But then I would say, I know, do you have a particular type of genre that you're producing in your studios, or it's just everything that comes in as a business, you see?
So that's a very good question. So the production part, like in the beginning, I never like wanted to become a producer. You know what I'm saying? To me, I basically wanted like to learn these things and to be making my music. Like I said, it came as an obsessive hobby. But I liked making music very much, that I have a lot of songs that I haven't put out. There are a lot of songs. So being a producer basically came when like people were telling me, "Oh, bro, could you try like to work with this?" I was like, "Oh." So I started like developing interest like in working with people, and then it became as something that I loved doing. Because I met people who are very talented, like the one that you've mentioned, Steen. I'm currently working with Steen on his album, some of the songs. So it's such an experience that like you see other artists and all working and all, and you're working with them and then giving your input and then trying to direct the whole record and the process and all. So it's quite a very good experience. Though I always say, Woody, I think people wouldn't really understand. I basically just like love making music. I'm not trying to be the best producer.
Just making music.
I'm just to me, I wouldn't say that I have like, oh, man, if you like,
Yeah.
oh, Grammy Award,
Yeah,
oh, good,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
like, hey,
More like you're not in a
you-
competition. Yeah.
I
You just
I
want to
don't.
produce good music.
I just want to make good music
Yeah.
and to enjoy the process of making
Yeah,
music. I think
yeah.
to me that's what really matters. But
Yeah,
then I
yeah.
wouldn't say that
I
there's
deliberately
like,
posed that
you
question
know,
because I understand in terms of producers now,
yeah,
there's always this thing that when the artists tend to uh, make progress
mm-hmm.
compared to producers.
Yeah,
Yeah, you produce a lot of songs for different artists, and then you look at their lifestyle or their living standards now
yeah,
improving. But now, as a producer, now you find yourself in that
very same.
they left you 5 years ago, you're still there.
Mm.
The artist you used to produce songs for now is somewhere far, has made a lot of progress in life.
Yeah.
So you think, what do you think is the challenge? Because we have a lot of producers now that you've seen them 10 years ago, they were there.
Bro.
Now they're still there, but the artists they've been producing music for, they have gone very far. I don't know, what's the challenge?
It's crazy when you think about it, because that's the reality. And it's not only Malawi. The crazy thing is, it's very challenging to be a producer and to basically like to make it a career. You know what I'm saying? Like to be like, oh, I produce music for a living, whatnot. It's good. I appreciate that there will still be people who show up and then you would make money and all that. But like you've said it, producers and artists tend to make a lot of money than producers. And it's going to be like that. And I don't think
so that's a law in production.
Exactly, it's something that is still there. Of course, in our countries, that kind of dealerships that are introduced into these things, like agreements and all. That's when I think producers have a chance like to make a living and to really make progress in these things. So I think to me, I want to keep it in a place where I keep it as a hobby. You know what I'm saying? I make music and I'm also exercising my entrepreneurial spheres. That I don't sit down and expect to make everything a living out of music, because honestly, in Malawi, it's really hard to make a living in music. It's really hard. I always say with it, to me personally, when you're like working with artists and then you're working on an album, you're working on an EP, I think that's when you like have a chance to you're gonna get money.
At once, like something.
At once, exactly. But otherwise, like if it's about just working on songs, with the way how we're living our lives,
it's not
the money finds you, it goes to something. You know what I'm saying? So
it makes sense.
But otherwise, I think that to me, that's what I can say. Is something that I'm making music as a producer. Not that I'm like trying to just for the love of music. And
because sometimes you find yourself a producer is working with big artists, but then you tend to wonder, are you guys getting paid? Or just because you're working with a big artist, that means just some free sessions or what? So that's why they challenge you, because people sometimes they have a lot of expectations. They see Barnie Michael, let's say big artists come to your studio, like several big artists are coming to your studios. People are expecting, I think this guy should have there has to be he's getting some more retains on what he's doing. And then all of a sudden he sees that no, we don't see any progress. What is happening? So maybe it's an issue to do with maybe people that because I understand the things you do because you love them, but then they just understanding we say whatever equipment you're using, these they need to be serviced. They need to be upgraded. So there is still something you need to be getting in return.
Exactly.
So maybe would say maybe a lot of producers don't have a entrepreneurial mindset. Say maybe they're not trying to monetize whatever they are doing.
I think like how you've said it, it's a gamble. It's really a gamble. It's a crazy jungle of gambling. Because the thing is, like I've said it, music is mostly heavily influenced with passion. It's what we love. If you see a producer, they're not doing it for anything else. It's because they love it. They love music. Exactly. So that comes with prices that you pay as well. I wouldn't lie to you that most of the people that we work with, it's for the money. And I think most of the people, if you would ask them, they would tell you the very same thing. Some of them is because we loved their music. They would be big artists. Oh man, I like that guy. Oh, the way how he does it. And then they come to you, they tell you, oh bro, let's work. I'm like, to me in the beginning, I wouldn't mind working with them. Exactly. I'll be like, bro, this is a legend, right? This is a big artist.
It's a brand on its own.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, there are those kind of sacrifices that we tend to make because we know that at the end of the day, it's also a chance of like them marketing us, you know. But there has to be a balance. In as much as you love those people and all that, but then, like you said, this is an equipment. If I don't have these things, these people don't come to me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If I don't have these things, if I don't invest in myself, building the skills and whatnot, these people don't come to me. These people don't know me. These people don't care. There'll always be another person who's going to be better. So I think there's a balance that we need to keep. Like me personally, I try to keep that balance to be like, okay, if you want us to work, these are the terms that we're working on. This is what we're doing, and this is what we're doing, and I try to stick to that because it's crazy as it's gonna sound. Being good is really, really good. It has a reward, but discipline must be there as well. Because if it's gonna be about hey man, maziwa basi the friend,
no.
That's
You
gonna
compromise the quality.
Exactly, compromise the quality, and as well, like you said, you remain on the same place.
Now as a minister, now we've talked about you as an artist, because this is another challenging thing now. I'm an artist, and then I'm also a producer. Now as a minister as well. Now because now we need to, there are a lot of debates happening.
Exactly,
a lot of things happening now. The gospel, a rapper who is a gospel
artist, what exactly?
So a Christian who is a gospel rapper, a rapper who is a Christian.
Exactly.
So there are a lot of things happening, and then when you look at these things about money and then whatnot, because some people say no, I'm doing this because I need to earn a living, and then whatnot. Now on your ministerial side of it, because you understand yes, you're a music minister, and then as a producer, it's still part of ministry. Now as a minister, because they say no, I minister. So on which platform do you minister? Because you mentioned separate from music, and separate from the production. So my understanding or my assumption is maybe you have a platform for ministration. So how do you handle this ministerial work in terms of where do you minister, or how do you minister?
All right, okay. So to me, I think I would narrow it down to on the commission of Jesus, right?
The great
I'm a believer of Jesus. I'm a believer of Jesus. I'm a sellout.
Just sold out, yo.
Exactly. I'm a sellout, I'll be honest. So I think that's a very good question, because I think people don't really understand, right? There are questions that are around this, and there are even other ministers. I think if they would come forth and they start responding to those things, it would be like controversial sort of. But I think to me, I would say the platform that I minister on, I basically take it from the understanding of the commission of Jesus. He said when he was living, he said, "Go ye into the world,
full, make disciples."
Exactly,
preach the gospel.
Go ye into the world, right? We can say that he was saying, okay, go into China, go into whatsoever. But must be in 2016. That was the time that God gave me a different understanding about this. Go ye into your world. Which world are you in? I'm in music. That's my world.
Music.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, what really matters, if I would identify myself as a minister, what really matters is my motive, right? If I say that I'm a minister and I'm doing music, and at the back of my mind, what is eating me up, or what I don't lose sleep about, is about, oh man, I must blow up, blah, 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 blah. Then I think my heart is compromised.
Like you're having two things, and then you're trying to balance.
It's not really doing it for, because being a minister, meaning to say it's all about Jesus glorified.
Something I glorified.
Exactly. Jesus glorified. I think
that's
exactly. So it's that's how I see it. To me, that you see a song, to me, at the end of the day, before I put out that song, there's a reason why I'm putting it out. And I would say this thing: you're not gonna hear me putting out a secular song, because to me, music already, I dedicate. I'm like, God, this
is for the
exactly
kingdom,
this is for you, and this is what I would want to offer as me ministering.
My sacrifice.
Exactly. You know.
No. It makes sense. It makes sense because the problem is, because it all narrow it down to, they say, how do you define when you say this is gospel? Because Because this is where, because everybody be like, no, I'm a gospel artist.
Artist, exactly.
But what is the gospel? When you say, no, this is a gospel, so what does it entail?
Exactly.
Because this is another issue that we have, because everybody can say, no, I'm a gospel.
Yeah.
Say, no, this podcast is a gospel podcast. But how do you define it? It's a gospel
exactly.
podcast.
Yeah, I think it's a question which recently I've been having different conversations with people around the very same thing. We are living in an age where the gospel is slowly, in my humble opinion, right? I wouldn't want to speak for all the people. We have different narratives and all, but to me, I feel like we really miss out what the gospel really is, you know? Because I think according to the Bible, the gospel is the good news of Jesus Christ, right? Good news of Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. There's a prefix there, Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus, exactly. You know? So it's basically ministering the word of God, because the good news which Jesus came with was the word of God. You get what I'm saying? And that good news that Jesus brought was too controversial to the people of the world, and even the people which were in the church, right? So if it's the gospel, it means at the end of the conversation of that gospel, people have to be convicted, rebuked, and at the end of the day, I think should give them direction to go to Jesus. To me, I think that's how.
So like
the
they
gospel
should submit and
exactly
submit
to exactly.
I like the part you said that the gospel that Jesus brought, it brought some controversy as well. Because now that people look at you like, look at Barnie guy, which gospel are we talking about?
Exactly. That I think it's Zana. So I was with this other guy. I was talking to you about Jesus. So it's like, I'm confused. I was like, man, like the hair, dude, the hair. The hair. Which Jesus are you talking about? So I responded to him. I was like, okay, I would want to ask you if you're open to understand what I would tell you, to explain to you. So he said, I am open. I'm like, okay, no problem. I think the conversation runs deeper, right? Not to justify myself, but I think to me, what I understand is presentation really matters. Really does, right? And one thing that I also know is that, like I said it, I'm a minister. God has called me to a specific kind of people.
Your own
my own world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not in a world where you're going to see me brashy. Holding a mic.
You're not the pulpit type of a guy.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying? Even if I would stand on the pulpit, but there's a kind of people that
the audience.
Exactly. The kind of people. Those are the kind of people that God has called me at too. So my presentation, the way how I am, it really matters. Not good presentation. I kind of the point you're compromising. No, but then like basically the outlook itself. It's something that
makes sense. You know, Fronty 99.
Yeah, he's a friend.
Have you ever worked with him?
Planning to work with him.
Planning to work with him. Yeah. And as I was saying, I'm like, okay, should I bring Ronnie to work with you?
Yeah. He's a friend. He's a friend.
Yeah, he's a very good friend of mine as well.
Oh yeah, he's a talent. He's a great talent.
Yeah, he's a great talent. And it's the same type that you see, and then people be like, "Do what you do? What you do?" Yeah. But he's very good as well. He has his own unique style.
Exactly.
So otherwise, but I feel like from the ministerial point of view, from the producer point of view, and from artist point of view, we have been able to get some few things from it. Yeah. So it's basically this is what we wanted to talk with you, because this has been very great.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people learn from this.
Yeah.
Because that's what this podcast is there for. Say we are here, we talk the talk. We talk whatever we want to talk.
Yeah.
So long as somebody's getting impacted at the end of it all, we're good with that. It's all about making impact.
That's amazing.
So once again, it's been good having you here.
Thank you very much.
Put your details there. Say, guy, you wanna produce something? Go studio. Go.
Yeah.
Go.
Thank you very much.
Otherwise, it's been a pleasure talking.
In last words. Yeah, I think. You said that you do mental health issues. You said before we started. Yeah. I think it's all I can say is, let's learn how to manage our minds
Yeah.
Right? I think it's something that I'm currently learning.
Yeah.
And I've had different kind of friends, whom have been like victims of these things, depression and whatnot. So the world is getting crazy, you know. But if we can learn how to, or if we can give ourselves to information that can assist us to learn how to manage this thing up here, our mind, it's gonna be all right, because it's getting crazy.
Yeah. The underscore, the world is getting crazy. A lot of things happening, a lot of issues,
exactly,
whatnot. But we just need to get over it and then work it out.
Exactly.
So yeah, next month is gonna be the mental health commemoration month.
Okay.
So it's gonna be So we're gonna do a lot of series on that one as well. We need to have some experiences and whatnot.
All right.
So otherwise, it's been good. You've been with me, Michael FMC, and then
Barney Michael.
Barney Michael, and then in the background we have Sai. All right, thank you. Till next time. See you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
It's been really hard the past 2 years. Story after story, experience after experience. So many things that you can't even tell your friends, because you just don't know who's your friend. Walk with me. I've got a strange story to tell.
Do it okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's getting really weird out here. I've traveled far from home. I'm here. Sometimes that talk is lonely. I heard. Zomwe tinkazifuna zinafika pokwana, moyo suli mwazo zipeza. What I thought would be enough is only when my heart begins. Zozifuna sizimata penandi mazifunsa. Will I ever be content? Dikufuna zondikwana. Munditenge mundisieko mwendinali. There's nothing new here. Munditenge.